AI browsers are not living up to the hype. We still want agentic experiences on the web, but computer use agent and screenshot-based workflows are still quite limited. But what if you could add a single script tag to your website and every one of your visitors were able to unlock full agentic capabilities? On episode 82 of Use, I'm talking to the team from rtrvr. Arju and Bhavani joined us a year ago to do a deep dive on rtrvr, but they're back with a new offering, Rover. And Rover's really cool. It lets your users run autonomous workflows on your website with minimal setup. So we're going to go over what Rover is and how your website would benefit from it, what engineering decisions went into making Rover as powerful as it is, and what builders should consider when they're competing with the likes of Google. Oh yeah, and they're going to open source it. So please enjoy this conversation with rtrvr.
What we're doing instead is just on your website, just how you add like a Google tag, you add a script onto your website, and we have a chatbot on top of your website that your user can just talk to take actions on. So this agent will type, click, do all of these workflows on your website for your user. And this is like a magic of our DOM only approach because we don't use any screenshots. You can't take screenshots from a script tag. And so we basically parse, represent the HTML, and take actions on it directly when you serve your website to the user's browser.
Very cool. Could you actually walk me through like the actual what happens behind the scenes? So I'm on a website, they've added Rover with your script tag to it, and I just say, help me find this like a red shirt.
So if we have like on our own website, it's like, hey, go to the cloud dashboard and run a workflow to get the top news on Hacker News. Hacker News is like my favorite test case. Like it just, the website's super quick to load and it's my favorite thing. So it's like, so just from this chat message, like this chatbot can navigate your user on your website, can type, click, take action. So it gave this query.
Yeah, all in like sub-second latency. It's like probably like we're not even done explaining, but as you can see, from whatever Arjuna asked of, like go to my cloud dashboard, run a workflow for me. So Rover already went to the cloud dashboard, typed in whatever workflow that you want, and it triggered rtrvr cloud browser to get the latest news on like Hacker News for you.
So this didn't involve any code setup on my end and is just from us embedding a script tag just one line of code. And that's all you need to configure. And you have an agent that works in the background for your users. They can just trigger something, switch tabs, do their actual work, and they come back and it's like, hey, my workflow on your website is done. And so that's, again, a benefit of our DOM only approach that it can run in the background.
And I did see, I forget who shared it, that you guys absolutely crushed Webbench, where first with like 80 plus, and then the next one's in the 60s. What gap is there from your capabilities to the next options, and what tasks are still like unsure for Rover to be able to accomplish?
Yeah, so it's like when we started off in the space, it was really clear. It was like, hey, these are language models. They're not doing good with vision at all. If you submit a screenshot of like a LinkedIn profile, even now you can try this with models, state-of-the-art models right now. You'll be like, hey, extract this person's like name, education, experience. Every other line is like hallucination. But if you just represent the web page as text only, you get much better results. And that's how we started off on this like different thing that we still see. Like after a year in the space, there's no DOM only agent. Like everybody else infatuated with screenshots of like, hey, we just need to train a bigger model with more computer use data, with like more different trajectories, and it will just be better. But like what we're doing on the other hand is like, okay, like if we can figure out a way to represent the web page semantically, comprehensively, with the minimum amount of tokens and handle all of these edge cases of the HTML, right? Like if you go on HTML website, there's like a million tokens. So we're solving this harder problem of more edge cases. And that's what leads us to the superior performance, as well as like 7x performance in terms of speed.
And also one of the key things is not just only DOM. If you look at almost every single web agent player out there, either your Cloud4 Chromes or like a totally different browser like Comet or like Atlas, ChatGPT, no one is talking about. But they use still the yesterdays debugger ports. or like playwrights or puppeteers of the world. When I say yesterdays, these are meant for back in the day UI testing rather than making the browser fully self-driving. And what are the problems with that? They limit in terms of like exposing like a port, marking you as an automation engine, where like your Cloudflares of the world, your data domes of the world, straight up like block you to like not proceed further, right? And also these will, because of using this debugger thing, they cannot be truly parallel. You cannot run like a swarm of agents in the background. Retriever, you give a task to Rover or even Retriever and can like go do other stuff. They can still click, type, do fill the form for you in the background. Whereas your Perplexity Comics of the world or even Claude for Chrome, they can only read. They cannot take actions in the background. It's because they need the page to be in the foreground, act on one tab at a time. So all these problems also gives them like puts them at a disadvantage of like being super slow, being expensive, as well as like marked as like bot straight up.
One question I had, I actually had a buddy message me just yesterday asking, because he's getting into the AI space trying to figure out good ways of approaching things. And he asked me, is it better to consume HTML or Markdown? And I told him Markdown because it's a more concise syntax. It doesn't have all the bloat with the tags. How do
Yeah.
you abstract the information on a website that is very noisy, a lot of like classes and IDs and whatnot, and actually get into something that's parsable by an LLM in a reliable, fast manner?
So what we do is we construct smart DOM trees or action trees of a web page. So Markdown doesn't, it gives you like the text on the page and like semantic relationships a little bit, but it doesn't encapsulate the actions you can do on a page. Like, hey, there's a button that's clickable, this thing is drag and droppable, this thing is
Yeah, so if you
hoverable.
look at raw HTML, we totally agree with you. It bombards it adds lots of noise, it takes up lots of context. And if you go with just pure Markdown, it's like a text dump. So you need the smartest LLM, the biggest models out there, to like precisely answer where is the right list of products, or else it's not intelligent to know like what actions can be taken. Our play is in the middle ground. How can we bring the semantics that a HTML can offer? Like, what is a parent node? What is a child node? Okay, this is the category of things, and these are different. Let's say you're on Amazon. This is a category of shopping, and you have like a kids section, you have kitchen section, all those things. How can you preserve these semantics? So even the smallest model, like we recently added support for bringing your own personal models, like local LLMs as well. So even those really small, like Quen or Kimi, can be like, okay, I need to first go into the category and then like click on to, like kitchen section to order like a dishwasher or something like that. So as you can see, like for example, he gave this Hacker News. We have this like a semantic context preserved of like, oh, this is a table. Now there is a row in the table talking about this particular like Hacker News articles. And even in each of them, there is a specific link for Hacker News newest, as well as like a Hacker News Show HN, Jobs HN, all of those things. So it makes it really easy and smart while preserving the context length for any LLM out there.
And just a little bit of a side note is like Gemini Flash Lite 3.1 came out last week, and it's been my absolute favorite model because it's so fast, it's so small as well, and so dramatically, I think it like halved our speed or latency in terms of inference speed and cost. And Google released on AI Studio, you get 500 requests per day. So with our own Chrome extension, you can bring a Google AI Studio API key. And so this basically allows anyone to have like do like daily drive an agent for free using Gemini Flash Lite, which is doing significantly well on these kind of agentic tasks. Not really that great for like doing coding work, but you can think for these agentic things where you need quick executions, where you need like this reliable tool calling. Amazing.
That's super cool. I was actually going to ask about how model agnostic it is. Have you found the infrastructure you've built allows that type of flexibility? Is it something with the prompting that makes it more broad so it can be leveraged by different LLMs? Or what do you think gave you the ability to hot swap LLMs and still get such good results?
I think we definitely do over engineer for Gemini. We are like both ex-Googlers. We've always believed in Google's infra stack. Like we always thought like, hey, Google is gonna crush it on like giving like the efficient model that would be like the lowest cost, highest efficiency. But like maybe not so good on the product. Like they iterate a little bit slower. So it's like we were like, hey, that leaves a perfect gap open of like of building on top of the latest and greatest. But
Yeah, and also the later part of like what makes us better, the hardness. Like obviously, hardness is a buzzword, but how do we do that, right? So again, accessibility that we construct is naturally a graph. Like, okay, what are different nodes? What is the parent, child? What is connected to what? And it makes the perfect for representing it as like a, like I wouldn't use the word rag, but almost like a graph context layer. And this helps us to shrink the size or expand the size as much as we want, so that we are no longer limited by your context sizes of the any LLM as such. And this is not possible with your images as such, because they have fixed size, fixed amount of tokens that they consume. And again, our own architecture play that we picked up really helps us to naturally take the headwinds of this like growing graph context layer and stuff, and tweak the context size for any LLM out there. And this will also benefit our Rover. Like Rover, straight off the bat, knocks off all navigational, transactional, click type, all those things. Great. Now, there is a second batch of Rover sites that we want to target, which is like your really complex old SaaS websites like Salesforce. There are like 1,000 drop downs possible there. And it's not just only clicking typing, but there's a lot of like industry knowledge tied into those drop downs. You need to like unlock this contact, first name, last name, this and that. So this again, this graph context layer that we're gonna like supplement soon will help these companies build the knowledge base for really complex websites as well.
And it has been a while since I've done web development myself. But I'm curious about things like modals or iFrames. Are there elements to different websites which Rover has trouble with? And would you actually recommend people try to start developing websites in a way that makes it more consumable for AI agents like Rover?
The one limitation right now is because Rover is a script tag that is embedded on your root domain. So you can whitelist your domains and subdomains whether to make Rover accessible across all. Now there comes the third-party domains. Let's say on your website, even we have it on our own website itself. When you look at booking a demo for Retriever, you go to Retriever request demo, you see Google Calendar embedded right there. Probably people will have Calendly or something. Now Retriever is one domain and your Calendly is your third-party domain. Now because Rover is not inside google.com or calendly.com, Rover will come to you until this step and probably guide you of like how to fill this, but won't be able to actually fill this like cross-origin domain. So like but as we evolve or be present on more websites, I aim to solve this problem. But if you look at Retriever as an extension that can access any web page, yeah, it can traverse your what we call as like iFrames, cross-origin iFrames, everything seamlessly. But Rover right now can traverse domain, your installed domain, subdomain, or like same origin iframes, but not cross origin iframes.
I think another point you did mention earlier as well is like, yeah, canvas elements are kind of a little bit tricky for us because they don't have inherent HTML structure that we can leverage to construct a representation to the model. So you could think like a dashboard, maybe like
You can
a
think of something
visual,
like
a Google Maps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Google Maps is like a canvas. It's like a pure like 3D rendering, which won't have the semantic information of like, oh, I need to like click here, because it's like a pure map space with lots of like pointers rather than like there is a button or there is like a search bar, stuff like that.
Would you recommend people start thinking about how they structure their websites to be more aligned with tools like Rover?
I think that's the best part of Rover is that what we're doing for you is bringing that inherent structure to your website without you doing any work or maintenance. I think there's a lot of frameworks, components that you can migrate to and you can set up and do like 1/10 the functionality, but like that's a ton of work for you, right?
Yeah, the cool part, it's great that you're asking how websites can evolve to use Rover, but we always think it the other way. How Rover can evolve to solve everything possibly of like a old website or like a modern website both. We do solve this third-party problem of like Retriever is a family of products. We have our own browser sandboxes on the cloud where you can execute certain things. Now, all you have to do is when you're onboarding, you can turn in like, hey, for any third-party websites, execute securely in your Retriever sandbox. And once you enable that, then Retriever actually opens this calendar link on the cloud browser, fills the details from whatever the user provided, and it's like securely like done. So we always try to it might add like a slight bit, like 100 milliseconds, 200 milliseconds more added latency, but this workflow will still be executed by making these external third-party sites executed in like a secure sandbox. We can dive into a quick demo shortly where we built multiple simulated environments of Rover. Yeah.
One thing I'm curious about is a lot of people in our world, especially, we're so familiar with using AI that we get a good intuition for prompting it, the information it needs. But as it starts reaching the internet, you're going to start interacting with more normies that don't know what they're doing and they just type in a really bad prompt. Are there guardrails or any type of safety mechanisms where if Rover, or if a prompt is misinterpreted by Rover, users are able to like either undo or roll back? That puts the wrong name in the name field type thing. Are there safeguards to help the average user benefit from this as well?
We've set it up so that it can ask questions back, clarifying questions, and uh, s- uh, do that, prompt the user back, as well as like we had it in the extension as well, like an enhanced prompt button that people like use to plan out like a long workflow with the agent to think what the agent is thinking of implementing it.
Yeah, we'll be real honest. The number one guardrail we've got for you right there is when a task is executing, you can cancel it. You can cancel Rover. If you think Rover is going on like a different direction, you can like straight up cancel it. The task will be
I think worst case you just close the tab and like
yeah, either or. You close your tab or you can cancel the task. And as a website owner, we provide the guardrails so you can like say no to like Rover on certain pages. Let's say there's some checkout page and you don't want Rover to actually take actions on the page, you can list those things. We hear some feedback on like, can I list the set of actions that it can take? But I think that might be too much of like a work for a website owner to figure out what actions to allow or not. But we constantly like trying to understand from user patterns. So far, from the user patterns that we've seen, the one emerging thing is that people definitely are trying to like adversarial test a Rover. Like they're on like let's say Retriever website or some other website where Rover is present. People will be like, go to like Naukri.com, get me some jobs, right? So we see that pattern emerge, but most of the time, yeah, people execute the task well or like cancel it if they want to.
But I think the huge value add is like as a website owner, we're going to surface these prompts that the users are trying for on your website, right? That's like huge amount of intent you're generating. It's like, how is my user actually thinking about using my website? Like that's a huge signal, right? And without Rover, that's like something that Google is going to monopolize in Gemini and Chrome, right? Like only they'll know what people are thinking on a website. And we're bringing that power to your website. And it's like, GEO is like a huge industry because people are trying to figure out how are like users prompting ChatGPT and like figuring out like discovering my website because like 20% of our traffic comes through ChatGPT. So getting these signals to the end website business owner is huge.
Yeah, that's immensely valuable. I didn't even think about that angle, but being able to get the most intimate of the user intent surfaced to someone on the website will unlock a whole bunch of capabilities. Before I dive into that a little bit more, I am curious. I didn't even think about the configuration aspect. What can a website owner configure about Rover? What can they set so they can make it a truly unique experience for their website?
Lots of things. I'll cover the basic thing to start with. Is all you need to do is give some name to uniquely identify your site, and you get a public key. That will be part of the Rover SDK configuration, and that's it. You can like get started with everything that's default. But you as a website can like configure if a Rover should only act on your parent domain, like Retriever, or can it also act on like subdomains like rover.retriever. And if someone, the curious user will like, hey, open some like third-party websites. Do you want to block them, open them, or open and say that I cannot act, but I opened it for you? So how you want to like handle all these things? You can also configure Rover mascot and everything. And this is a really key piece that we think will unlock what we call as cross website interactions that has never been possible before. External web context. I can show you like a quick demo. Can you open the chat once? Yeah, I pinged you a Grab merchant. pick up the grab merchant thing. Yeah. And also, so we built this simulation environments for like Grab. Grab is like one of the biggest e-commerce slash like delivery platform in Southeast Asia. So a little bit tuned towards like Singapore, Jakarta right there. And all I did is like add Rover tag right here. And this particular simulation environment is for like merchants of the Grab. Like let's say you're like a restaurant, you're selling on like your Uber Eats or your like Grab here. You usually have to keep your menu updated, prices updated. How is your competitor doing? Or is how are people talking about the reviews and stuff? All those things, which is really manual in the AI world. Like you, if you are on Uber Eats, you have to do it. If you're on Food Panda, you have to do it. And same here. Now with Rover installed, everything will be seamless for your merchants too. So what I'm doing is like, let's say I'm a restaurant called Good Bites, okay? And I have my own website, I have my own menu, all of these things. Now it's very tedious to go to like your Uber Eats and Food Panda to update manually. Now Rover installs, I can be like, hey, update my menu here, especially my side dishes from my own website. Now Rover is installed on your SDK, but how can it get like a third-party context? Once you as a website owner, if you allow this external context, we run it in our sandboxes of if you want it to on demand, only the agent determines if it needs external context or not, or if you want to turn it off. And as you can see, the thing works even in the background while you navigate. It's like trying to like read the menu from here, and then like Rover navigated to the menu section of your Uber Eats platform. It's navigated to site section, and it knows. We can cross check these. If you go to the site section, we have chicken poppers, chicken wings, mozzarella sticks and stuff. And now with this external context that it obtained, it's gonna like update all of your menu end to end seamlessly. Like you as a merchant, all you have to focus is on making the best dishes possible. And something like Rover will make sure you have the most competitive pricing, the most up-to-date menu items on your Uber Eats, Food Panda, Grab, whatever it is. And this is one of the really important, we think, as the biggest configuration that you can give. And one thing we always hate is looking at like an empty screen. That's why we have something called as shortcuts. So whenever your users open chatbots, these are nothing but list of prompts. You learn from Rover of like, oh, people are always willing to like run a workflow on cloud. Then I put a prompt of like, okay, help me run a workflow. If I click this, it's nothing but like a set of instructions that will navigate you, and you can like cancel it anytime. And there's lots of other, like how can you configure page load delay? Do you want to not make your page scroll? Lots of other things. But yeah, we want to give as much control as possible, but while at the same time, we want you to get onboarded in a second.
But yeah, this also actually through like one of the key use cases of Rover, in addition to conversational checkout, complex workflows, is like form filling. We have a lot of people come up to us like, hey, I just want my user to be able to upload a PDF, and the agent just fills in the form from the PDF. And it can even submit the PDF. So it's like we know all of these DOM interactions so that we can submit files. And
I think that's really cool. I never even thought of the use case of updating menus. In a past life, I worked as an integrations engineer for one of the big food delivery companies, and keeping those menus synced was a nightmare for a lot of companies. So
yeah, you get it, right?
Okay. Kind of, yeah, many late nights. I did have a selfish question to ask. So I'm in the process of updating the tool use website. I want to make sure I get the transcripts up there, some general summaries. So if people have questions from the past episode, this is episode 82. We've had a lot of good conversations. There's a lot of good knowledge, and some people don't want to sit through the website. So if I were to put Rover in my website, do I need to do any prep work to help it understand where to search for different topics? Do I give it a little description of each page so it can kind of take a small summary, similar how skills are these days, where instead of dumping everything into it, you can just take a slice? Or what would you recommend for a very text-heavy, information-heavy website to benefit from Rover?
So right now, Rover can just navigate the pages and like understand from the page itself. So you don't need to do any onboarding for Rover per se. In the future, we are going to partner with the Chrome extension so you can demonstrate complex workflows to ground it. set up knowledge bases of the
So
action
yeah,
pages.
like I said, right, we classify websites as two websites. Websites either text heavy or purely navigational. Like doesn't need a lot of knowledge of like industry knowledge or like a product knowledge. Like it can like figure out those stuff. So we think like 40% of the websites, like including uploading transcript or text heavy websites, falls into the first 40% of category. And the rest 60% of the category where there's really complex knowledge of products, or the drop down has like 100 things, where to upload what to click what. In that case, we come with like two different criteria. One is you use retriever Chrome extension and you record stuff. Okay, I'm creating a recording for like uploading my transcript. You need to click this drop down, upload this, type this and that. So you just do it once and then give that recordings to like Rover. And whenever someone does like similar task, it will be used as grounding of what steps you took while recording that workflow. And number two is the knowledge base that I mentioned about. What we will do is periodically at the frequency you want, we will go through your website's content and build this graph knowledge base that will really help to even deliver at like real milliseconds, like super low millisecond latency of like answering questions for you, or using that knowledge to figure out how to create certain objects, how to create certain models, all those things.
But compared to like, we're not indexing Markdown like
Yeah.
everybody else is doing. We're indexing the actions on the pages. So it's like a next level agentic chatbot and knowledge base. So it's like before we showed you like the action trees. So we're indexing those action trees.
Yeah, and as we are talking, this thing is fully updated. It's highlighted that it updated all the sites with everything. Yep, end to end for us. And the beautiful part, I just only asked it to update to match these sites. It also, Rover also removed the outdated items that are no longer present on my menu right here.
Oh, very cool demo. I do like it. As someone who's been browsing the internet most of my life, sometimes things just don't work as expected, whether a broken link or you get a 404 or something. How does Rover handle unexpected errors? Is there a recovery loop, or what happens if it hits the unexpected?
The agent definitely tries to like overcome, like you said, of like it tries a new navigation path to not encounter that 404, or it tries to pick the initial search tools possible where it can like search from to find the right link if it doesn't know the right link. But after X number of steps, the agent will definitely, and this X number of steps is not very deterministic. We provide the guidelines in the prompt of like how many steps you can try repeating to achieve like a specific goal. And if you exhaust that, like the agent has to like convey that to the user that it cannot help with the so-and-so task. So yeah, right now it tries to explore different navigation paths or use the search tools, or in the end, like give up after X number of turns.
Pivoting slightly, earlier on you mentioned about Gemini and Chrome and how that can obfuscate the user's intent. It might be able to do some functionality for you, but you're not going to get that insight. Another answer from Google was Google's WebMCP. Could you do a little comparison, what people should consider if they're thinking about going that route? Or yeah, we'd love your thoughts on WebMCP.
Yeah, we actually met the founder of WebMCP as well as Google's lead on WebMCP. Very familiar with them. But so the idea of WebMCP is, hey, on my website, I'm going to list to Chrome or like the browser all of the APIs on this website. What are, so that the agent can just call those APIs directly. But you can think that's a lot of maintenance work, right? Like my APIs change, I have to keep them in sync. I also, it's like a per page definition. So it's like, oh, like I have like, how many pages do you got, right? Like you got a ton. And so you got to figure all of that
And
out.
so far, no website has ever exposed like JavaScript APIs or JavaScript methods for UI actions, or they want to secure their databases. They did not expose like the database call method to like put, write, read, all those things to the public. But now the whole perspective or preface of like WebMCP is like you expose all those things as tool definitions on your website, like something like Navigator. They call this word
Model
namespace.
Navigator.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they put a namespace that like in JavaScript Navigator.register tool and define a tool like, for example, the tool is like checkout. And then you put all these JavaScript methods of like fill in this first name, last name, fill in the card, and then check out, or else write to the database to pull the details from the database about the user, all these things. So you as a website owner or publisher, for the first time, you have to do this a whole narrative of like figuring out these APIs, exposing them securely, and registering them, and all those things. And doing for what? All of this just so that only Google Gemini tools or Google AI tools can discover you. What about Claude? What about cursors of the world? Right? All the CLI tools. That's the biggest problem or the dysentery thing that we want to break and make these websites available
But
to all AI agents.
yeah, I think when you expose these tools, right, the user, what are they going to do? They're just going to talk to Google, Gemini, and Chrome. They're not even going to look at your website anymore. They'll be like, okay, do this action there. And now you just got disintermediated. And it's like a classic Google playbook of what happened with search and publishers, where publishers are like, crawl me, index me. And then like now the results just shows up in Google search. They're not even visiting your webpage. So we used to work in Google Ads publishing, like on this actual like interface. So it's like, wow, it's like we can see the similarities with what happened before already. And what we're trying to do with Rover is, hey, we're going to put the agent inside your website. You're going to keep the users focused. You're going to give them an option so that they're not just like forgetting about your website, just using Gemini. And what we can do in addition to that is like we can expose the
coolest
actions.
new feature that we're gonna like roll out, we're also open sourcing Rover. So that's the biggest thing. With that open sourcing, the first ever kind of like, now your cursor or like Claude code can be like retriever.ai/query equals book a demo. That's it. And the Rover installed on it will pick up the query parameter from the URL and does the actual workflow for the AI. So you don't even have to have MCPB. There's like lots of like MCP tools that pop up, or like Playwright, install it, and Playwright will take actions. Your browser-based takes actions. Forget about all of these things. AI is good at like curl, fetch some URL. The same way, once you install Rover on your website, any AI can call your website like websites and query equals, run a workflow on like a Retriever AI platform, or like, book a pizza for me on Uber Eats. That's it. And Rover will do these things end to end. No MCPs installed, no tool definitions exposed, nothing.
Sorry, I want to double click on that because that sounds really cool. So just going back to the concrete example, tool use website, I install Retriever. I can set up a skill for Claude that will have it query the website and pass in parameters that will actually trigger workflows that I can set up behind the scenes.
Exactly. Just the agent have to literally do ubereats.com/query equals order me a pizza, and that's it. Like Rover installed on Uber Eats will do those things for you.
This is amazing. That's one of the big unlocks where all of a sudden we're going to have a direct pipeline from people's agents of choice. I've been playing around with Hermes agent lately, and just the ability to have it commit actions without having to figure it out, read, try to do the DOM itself, because it's not optimized for that. And if you've already built it, that's a big selling point to get Rover installed on more websites. So I really do like that one.
Yeah, like not all AI is good at computer use or like agentic actions on a website. All of them are supplementing with, again, Azure, Playwrights, Puppeteers, trying to make it work. Even, ChatGPT's latest, like Playwright, interactive Playwright as well. So something that's actually trained specifically for this will unlock doors for all these other AIs, and AI just have to send a prompt and nothing else.
You don't need to build out a separate website for agents either, right? Like it's the same underlying website.
And now you are available as a CLI.
That's very cool. And sorry, what parts of this are you open sourcing?
The full Rover, Rover has like multiple packages. The centralized SDK is obviously open source. The SDK line of code is open source. But the client side part of like understanding the web pages and then calling our retriever backend, as well as the communication bridges, how do we put up different listeners on a website to understand like what are different actions possible on a specific element or node. All these, we're going to open source all of it. So what we're open sourcing is the client side, how do we traverse the pages, try to build the accessibility trees, listen to various events, as well as how Rover communicates with our backend, all of this. but there will be still like a backend call that is opaque backend call to us that would ultimately create these beautiful semantic DOM trees and takes actions with all the prompts and stuff.
The goal is, hey, I want to see like this, like have an auditable repo that is open, public, that I can build trust in before like embedding it on my website, right? Like, we're making that possible.
I love that. Thank you for open sourcing, but so many people are kind of not viewing open source in that realm where it allows to build trust in this day and age where people can actually see, if this is going to be a part of my website, I need to know what's going on, and just the exposure there. Plus, not to mention your algorithm, your secret sauce, you deserves to be opaque. That's what you've worked on. But we're going to have so many companies competing in this exact same space, trying to get like that pipeline working, those listeners working. So if we can just have an open source solution that people can kind of gather around, then they can make their own algorithms, or people can leverage these tools their own ways, get inspiration from it. So we'll be sure to include everything, all the links in the description, just so people can check it out. Maybe contribute, open an issue or something, because I do want to see more of these things flourish.
That sounds great. I always love like good energy and like good feedback, and yeah, maybe some PRs as well.
One thing I'm actually really curious about, because every time people build apps that are in like a contained environment, you can control the variables. It's a lot easier. But when you deal with the open web, so many things can go wrong or switch around. Do you have an eval suite internally where if you make changes, you know that you're still going to work with existing web structures or website structures, and things are going to go awry on one side if you change something somewhere else? Or how do you validate that Rover and Retriever in general is continually getting better rather than just, shooting in the dark and hoping for the best?
We do definitely test, run, do it at every model updates that we do. And especially because this can be like significantly non-backward compatible on like various models, various updates to the even like specific models, even like our own harness changes and stuff. So we continuously evaluate what are the top 20% workflows that are users running. Usually at this point of time, our patterns are fixed. Mostly it's like sales workflows on your LinkedIn.com or your Y Combinator, like Crunchbase and stuff. And then there's like a data entry, e-commerce, like people use us on a lot of these vibe coding platforms, even like doing the data entry on your Replit-based apps, Lovable-based apps, all these things. So we have those set of websites that people usually interact with, and we consistently like test how are these workflows and these websites being handled with latest updates to our agentic harness or to the models. And
Very cool.
we are not personally big fans of like public benchmarks, because time and again it's been proven that these don't convey to the actual production use cases. So we pull up those use cases from our own users of like Retriever platform of products.
Builder to builder, what were some of the engineering problems you encountered which you either didn't think would be as hard as they were, or end up being an incorrect decision you had to pivot to later? Just think about the builders in the audience. What can you pass on as words of wisdom?
For me personally, the things that come to mind is like, don't listen to all of your users. I think we listen to the loudest user of like, he was always like, hey, you need to build this feature. This would be amazing. This would be, and as soon as we build it, he just goes on, asks for the next feature. You need to build like a browser OS, like a OS inside the browser. Like, we're like, okay, have you tried the thing that we just, so it's like, maybe we invested a little bit too much time in like building these additional features instead of moving what we think is the core need. Like, it's really tricky getting user feedback because we have 25,000 users. I would say 99% of them don't like give me any signal or any like even respond to email. Like, so it's really tricky. And the one that is like the loudest is still not like the best to listen to. So I think it's better to just create a good mental map of like who your users are, how they will enjoy it. And you have to really like get that skill right. And instead of just going like the easy route of listening to the loudest user.
Yeah, users are phenomenal at identifying problems, but they're horrible at offering solutions. So if they have a feature request, you got to dig in and figure out why they even want it, because it's probably a bad feature. But that's loose. Thank you for coming back on. Like, I can't believe it's been a year since we talked last. Really excited to try this out. I am going to install the tool use one. So if anyone checks out the website, feel free to put in some queries. Before we let you go, is there anything you'd like the audience to know?
We are coming out next week with a big release of the open source repo. We're really excited as well, like update to the Chrome extension. We realized that like the like web agents of the world, right? Like they're still a little bit slow, and like the world is moving to like a code-based model, and it's like, how do we harness the best of both worlds? And what we are releasing next week is like the first agent that will take actions in your browser and uncover the underlying API calls that the browser is making to get the data on the page, and write a script so you can, for example, get all of the followers of Pete, the OpenClaw guy, like all 100,000 just from a script, right? So you don't need to click the paginations, and it'll be like couple credits, couple cents. So we're moving to a more code-based world there, as well as leveraging the web agent for on the website.
Thank you for listening to my conversation with Arjun Bhavani. I've been a skeptic of these AI web browsers for a while. It doesn't feel like the capabilities of LLM and the safeguards are aligned enough to allow full browser control. It just doesn't sit right with me, and I think the lack of adoption kind of aligns with that. But the ability to add agentic workflows to your website is very powerful, especially when it can be scoped in such a way that Rover allows. I do think that the open source aspect is going to help us build trust. I think that the ability to send queryable commands that a website can parse and then act upon is incredibly powerful. I'm so excited. I actually didn't know about that part going into it, so I'm definitely going to play around with it. Please check out toolusepodcast.com and give it a try. Don't drain all my credits, just ask real questions, but it would be cool to really get exposure to how people want to interact with it, what they want to use it for, because this feels like one of those shifts where we can start allowing websites to take control of how their users get to interact with it, but still give agentic capabilities. We don't want Google being an intermediary all the time. We don't want OpenAI to just vacuum every single data point from you browsing the web. We want to have things surfaced so you understand user intent while still including guardrails so that things are done safely. And I have an intuition that Rover is going to be the right piece for that. So check it out. They're a great team, really delivering a lot of value, and they're open sourcing it. So check out the repo, open up PR, help them out. But this was a lot of fun. This was cool. I'll see you next week.